Well, we showed you last hour how House Republicans are now stepping up their investigation into the Solyndra scandal, vowing to get answers on why the Obama administration backed the California-based solar firm. Solyndra declared bankruptcy last month after receiving $535 million in loan guarantees from the Energy Department. But at a hearing on Capitol Hill last Friday, Solyndra execs, the ones who spent your money that doesn't look like you're going to get back, were tight-lipped when on the hot seat.
Mr. Chairman, I have tremendous respect for this subcommittee and the important oversight role that it plays. As much as I wish to be able to answer the members' questions, I have been advised by my counsel that it is the better course for me to assert my constitutional right to decline to answer questions under the Fifth Amendment.
Mr. Chairman, on the advice of my counsel, I must invoke the privilege afforded by the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and I respectfully decline to answer any questions put to me by this committee and subcommittee.
Well, now we're hearing from a business writer and a stock analyst who was reporting last March and earlier how this company was in serious trouble months before President Obama touted it as the future. Bill Gunderson is a finance expert and CEO of Gunderson Wealth Management. Bill, thank you for being here. So let's just help us out on the timeline here. When did you first notice that this company had serious trouble?
Well, in early 2010, they were planning on doing an IPO and going public. In March of 2010, their auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, issued a going concern letter 2 months before President Obama ever showed up at Solyndra. A going concern letter is a kiss of death, meaning that the company will be out of business inside of 12 months. Well, it was mind-boggling to me to see him there after that, 2 months after that letter was issued.
What did you make of it? Because you had been reporting on it. I mean, most of us weren't paying any attention to Solyndra back then, right? It's only now that the money's gone and they've declared bankruptcy. 1,100 people have been laid off, and we saw the president and vice president touting this thing that we're paying attention. You, unlike most of us, were paying attention long before that and are scratching your head, I guess, as to how others didn't see the red flags you saw.
Well, it didn't take much. I talked to some people in the solar industry. It was very easy to find out that they had a losing business plan right from the start. It never would have been profitable. And obviously, their auditors saw the same thing in issuing that kiss of death letter. And again, I mean, 2 months later, President Obama shows up on the stair steps of Solyndra telling us that this is what a brighter, sunnier economic future looks like for America, and this is where our money is being spent as taxpayers.
I mean, the evidence seems to show that while, we don't know what President Obama knew or didn't know, we do know that members of his administration saw the same red flags you saw. I mean, there's a January 20th, 2009 writing where an energy official writes of a major outstanding issue, namely that Solyndra's numbers showed it would run out of cash in September of 2011, which it did. Then March of 2009, President Obama is officially in office, and a White House budget analyst writes in an email, "This deal is not ready for prime time," and on it goes until we actually get approval of the loan. The taxpayers get in on the deal. President Obama goes out there and says companies like this are leading the way toward a brighter and more prosperous future. And then the deal goes sour. But Bill, what the White House says is, for lack of a better term, win some, lose some. You can't make good on every investment. You got to roll the dice sometimes.
Well, as a taxpayer, I don't want them rolling the dice with my money. That's $535 million that went up in smoke in less than 2 years. Had I done that in my industry and put my investors into an investment like that and looked past all of the warning signs, had my investors lost that kind of money, I would more than likely end up in prison for not doing my due diligence.
The FBI is now looking into whether Solyndra knowingly misled our government about its financial state. As I just read, those emails suggest that our government did know something about a troubled economic state because, they've got emails documenting that the deal wasn't ready for prime time and that they didn't know if this company's going to be out of money in September of 11. But what do you think? Why, if our government knew that this company was in such trouble, why would they be so hell-bent on going forward with giving it the money? Why would they go so far as to have our president go out there and put his own, face on the company, if you will?
Well, I mean, it's either incompetence on their part. You know, everybody in the solar industry, in the financial industry, hedge funds were passing up the investment. A guy like me, who's a financial analyst, knew it was a bum deal. How could they not know, number one? Number two, we know that there were some hedge funds involved, one headed by George Kaiser, who was a very large investor to the Obama campaign. One has to wonder if there weren't some favors done there.
Bill, are you an anti-Obama guy?
Let's put it this way. I'm hoping we have somebody new in the White House come November. That's the only chance that the stock market has.
Bill Gunderson, thank you so much. We appreciate it.